So should you still buy a smartwatch in 2021, especially with the current pandemic situation that we're in? If you ask me, the answer is a resounding yes. Why? Number one, we're always just at home, and the level of activity that you normally have is really down because you're just at home. So to give you guys an example, when the shop was still open, I would clock in siguro over 8 to 9,000, minsan 11 to 12,000 steps almost on a daily basis. And when I could still go to my office prior to this pandemic, isa din sa akin yung mga 8 to 10,000 steps. But now, if you're just at home and most of your calls, nakaupo ka lang, swerte ka na kung maka 3,000 steps ka, di ba? So, having an active health body really helps a lot in you being a little bit fitter and healthier, especially with the current situation that we're at. Number two, there are so many watches with so many designs and so many price points that it's easy to pick up a watch that fits your budget. So dati kasi, all smartwatches were super expensive, but now you can find one na swak lang sa budget mo. Next, in terms of technology, smartwatches are so much more sophisticated these days in terms of AI, in terms of sensors, in terms of all the things they can do. It can track your sleep, it can track your steps, it can track your heart rate, it can track your oxygen. I mean, lahat na lang kaya niyang i-track pati stress mo. So, that's how insanely awesome smartwatches are today compared to before. So kung dati, pakit lang si smartwatch and it didn't really offer you so much value, I feel that given the current situation that we're in, it is one of the best buys that you can make. And if you've been watching my channel for a while now, then you probably guys know that when it comes to smartwatches, this is my favorite. This is the new Huawei Watch 3. So I've actually reviewed most of the predecessors of this one, from the Watch GT2 and the first watch. And I just love the design and the thinking behind Huawei smartwatches. And allow me to share with you a little bit about this particular watch. Una-una sa lahat, one of the things that I absolutely love about Huawei smartwatches is that they look incredibly awesome. And when I say awesome, I don't mean na parang they look like, super techy and super out of this world. I love the fact that it just looks, it's a circular shaped dome. It's made out of premium materials. It perfectly sized for my wrist. And it just looks friggin' elegant. This particular watch, as you can see, is all black. It uses, I think it's titanium or some sort of stainless steel for the case. It has a ceramic back cap together with the sapphire crystal. And it is just a stunning piece of tech art, if there is such a term. Now, in terms of watch peak, the diameter is 46 mm. Now, normally, some people who love their watches small would prefer something obviously not that big. But the great thing about having that width is that it gives you a much bigger display. And when it comes to the display, number two, sobrang panalo yung display nito. Kasi unang-una sa lahat, it's 1.4-inch AMOLED, 1,000 nits. Ano po ibig sabihin nun? Ibig sabihin nun, it can go super bright. So even when you're walking outside and then the sun is fully out there blasting down its heat and its radiance on all of us, makikita mo pa rin. You will not have problem looking at the time. In fact, sa sobrang ganda ng resolution, ng pixel density, and sa sobrang laki ng display plus the brightness, ang sarap niya tingnan. As in, it's a treat to look at, especially with all the different watch faces that you can have on the watch. By the way, you will also notice that there is a crown dito sa 2 o'clock position, and you can I think it's called like the 3D Huawei crown, and you can actually use it to control, to take a look at all the different apps, to scroll, and it's a nice addition para you don't have to keep touching the display. Meron ka something physical na pwede mong galawin to be able to control the watch. Now, the next thing that's great about the Huawei Watch 3 is that it actually has eSIM capabilities. So, ibig sabihin nun, you can make phone calls, you can take a look at messages and send messages, even if you don't have your smartphone with you. O, di ba, panalo? So, kunyari gusto mo tumakbo around your village, or kung gusto mo lang to go on a quick errand and you don't want to bring your phone, pwede mong gawin yan with the Huawei Watch 3. And next, which is probably one of the most important things that you would want with the Huawei Watch, it's the health and fitness capabilities. Now, obviously, hindi naman ako sobrang like athlete level person, but there are my minimum standards. And the minimum standards ko is to try to get X amount of steps per day. I try to get good sleep kasi sobrang importante ang sleep, guys. Kung pangit ang sleep nyo, mahirap maging productive. Actually, yung secret ko, I try to get really good sleep every time. No? So anyway, so yun yung mga bare minimums ko. And my watches have always been my way to check those things. So in terms of steps, meron siya. It can read your oxygen levels and take a look at your heart rate. There are so many different modes for working out and different outdoor activities that you can use to track. In terms of tracking your sleep, it also does that. So it even gives you tips on how to sleep better. Titingnan niya kung ilan hours ka natutulog, ilan hours yung deep sleep mo, and it gives you an idea of how good the quality of sleep na nakukuha mo every night. So dun pa lang para sa akin, ano na siya, indispensable. Kasi napakalaking tulong yung binibigay niya sa akin. Kasi if I have bad sleep, the next day is usually horrible. I'm not as productive, I'm not as energetic, I'm very moody. But if I stick to, the routine of getting good sleep, not eating before, following the tips actually na sinabi ng watch na to, I get so much better sleep. And lastly, battery life. One of the things that I absolutely hated about other smartwatch brands is that yung tipong pagsuot mo sa kanila, every day kailangan mo i-charge, or every 2 days kailangan mo charge, or every 3 days kailangan mo what's the point, diba? So the great thing about this one is that it can last all the way up to 2 weeks, especially if you take a look at the different power modes or power advisories with the different watch faces and the different settings. So you can go up to 2 weeks, or kung gusto mo full blast, baka siguro mga 3 to 4 days, but you can actually tweak it depending on your preference. So yun, all of those things, I believe, make for a really good smartwatch. I'm not a big fan of notifications on my watches. Ayoko yung nginig siya ng nginig, so I turn them off. I hate getting disturbed kasi. So, nakaka-hassle na nga na your phone rings and buzzes. What more if you stick it to your wrist, right? So, lahat ng notifications ko for calls, messages are usually off on my watch. But it depends on you guys. Now, how much does it cost? This Huawei Watch 3 sells for 18,999 pesos on Lazada, and you can actually even get it with free speakers if you buy it today. Diba? Not a bad deal if you think about it. So yun, that's my favorite smartwatch. Let me know what you guys think of the Huawei Watch 3. Would love to hear from you guys as usual. The link to where I bought it can be found down below. Nasa Lazada siya. So lahat naman ng kailangan natin nasa Lazada, di ba? So click nyo lang yun kung gusto nyo add to cart tapos check out. Okay? So that said, this is it for today's vlog. It's something short lang and simple. I want to shoot this. Yung Q&A ko guys will resume tomorrow. So obviously this is not a Q&A vlog. I know you guys have been enjoying our Q&A series. If you guys haven't seen my previous Q&A episodes, panoodin niyo yung previous video to this one and the 2 videos prior to that. But rest assured, babalik tayo sa Q&A starting tomorrow. And sobrang juicy yung mga sasagutin kong tanong tsaka mga reactions to some of your comments in my previous episodes. Okay? I hope you're all safe. I hope you're all blessed. And don't forget to rest well this weekend. Peace. God bless. What's up? Boom. Of my videos, I've been doing videos on is that I have problem sleeping well. So, boss, sana masagot. Ano ba ba?